of Quadrophenia is left ambiguous. The illusion of drowning and water is throughout the album, and that can be death or a rebirth.
The question of what happens to Jimmy next, I really like the fact that it's in the hands of the listener.
We're going to go on the road again. We're doing a tour of Europe. Then we do America. And we come back to Europe, and then we do America again. We've got 2 American tours lined up.
The day that we finished the stereo mix, our managers booked a fucking tour. So I had 2 weeks to rehearse, to develop the stage quadraphonic sound, which was impossible. We didn't have the time. So they overworked us.
I didn't take into account properly at that time the load that Pete had. What with the mixing and everything else, I was trying to help them survive.
Speaking for myself, I was dead meat. Actually completely exhausted. I'm sure Roger was exhausted too.
We had employed a bunch of people that were our friends to film the rehearsal. And we played through, I think we got through to Dr. Jimmy, and they'd been sitting on their boxes with cameras. And I just say to them, you're going to sit on your fucking asses all afternoon, because I'm not doing this, singing this again. I thought you were supposed to be filming this. I don't know why, but for some reason, this other side of Pete came over and started poking me. They'll do what I tell them to do. And they're doing this to me. All the roadies jump on me, and I start holding my arms. I started to scream at him, and I can't remember the details, but we ended up in a physical grappling, and... He pulled his guitar off, and as he brought it down, he tried to hit me on the head with it. And it glanced off my shoulder, like that. Then he threw a punch, and it went one way, and moved that way. Then he threw the other punch, and as he was coming forward with his right hand this way, I uppercutted him. And he hit me, and I passed out.
You know, it's got a line out of work, right? Got a new list. Who are you going to get? Here they are.
At the shows, you could see they'd introduced our new work, and the audience would go, yeah, and it was starting.
We'd like to carry on our present act with our new album, or parts of it.
I don't know what they expected, but the audience, it was new to them.
And then what started to happen is that Roger started to tell the story.
This one's about his feelings when he gets down to the seaside.
Every time we played a song, he would stop and say, well, now Jimmy is, fucked off with his dad. He's going to go and get a job.
The next song is about a guy, and he sees an old gang leader who's working as a bellhop.
When somebody's talking on stage, you can't hear it. Half the time, you're next to the producer, what did he say? So you had that confusion going on at these Quadrophenia shows.
So I probably gave Pete a load of problems he didn't need.
After that, things fell apart. It's the first night of the Quadrophenia US shows, and Moon takes elephant tranquilizer. And he starts off strong enough, and a few songs in, and he collapses.
He's out cold. I think he's gone and eaten something he shouldn't have eaten, like it's your foreign food. I'm afraid the horrible truth is that without him, we're not a group.
Yeah, I can't do that kind of thing all the time. It's just that this time it was, the drugs were too powerful for him.
He's still a bit sort of dodgy. But he'll be all right. track of it.
He is dragged off stage and they take a break and they come back and he makes it through, and then by the end of Won't Get Fooled Again, he's dead. He's lifeless. He's jello.
Can anybody play the drums?
And then they had this fan, Scott Halpin, come and play drums with them.
Scott!
And that's how they kicked off what already was a difficult tour.
We managed to kind of soldier on. You know, we could put a brave face on it, and, you know, I could tell funny stories about it, and we could all have a good laugh. It was tragic, you know. It was really tragic, because Keith was being a fool. We got good reviews and the album sold well. But when we came back to Europe the following year, we weren't even playing it. Went back to playing Tommy. And what's interesting about this album is it kind of worked. You know, we never really ever made a truly great album again. You pulled this letter out. It's a painful letter, but this is the man I was at a point. Ted Oldman was our lawyer at the time, and in this last week of recording here, I think I just thought, I've had it with this. This is not going to happen. We're not going to get an album. We're screwed in some way. I probably had a bad day, but it says, "Dear Ted, I'm writing to you in strictest confidence to ask advice and to seek guidance on a matter I feel only you can help me with. I've spoken to my wife and very intimate friends about this, but I found the making of this current record a great strain. The studio building problems, the writing problems, and of course Kit and Keith have been aggravations to an already difficult time. I've been building up to this for many years now, and I feel that as of now, the record we are making and the current tours we're undertaking will be the last I want to be involved with The Who as a group. I'm losing any impetus either to write for The Who as a vehicle or play with its members as a musician. You know, we were done. We were definitely done. And this letter is indicative of the fact that, you know, I would have gone home in that week and taken my wife aside and just said, you know, we haven't had a holiday for fucking 2 years. I've hardly seen you. We probably haven't made love for 6 weeks, 6 months, God knows what. You know, I probably missed you at Christmas. I probably missed our anniversary. I'm sorry. It was all a fucking complete waste of time. That's probably what I would have said to her. And she probably would have said to me, well, if that's how you feel, you should stop, sweetheart. And I write this letter, and I didn't send it.
Me free.